Welcome back to the second episode of Rated F podcast.
Where we talk about all the things you like to hear.
You can say that? Really?
What do you mean?
Really? I don't even know.
What are you talking about?
You think they really want to hear this stupid shit?
I don't know, but I'm assuming the three people listen to it do, or they would be listening to it.
Me, you, and Paige.
Well, your point. Let's be honest. It's going to be you and Paige. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible human when it comes to
I know, I've left so many little Easter eggs and videos. And I'll be like, Jeremy, if you watch this far, let me know you like this or not. There's every video I recorded without you, there's one in there. And you've yet to comment on one of them.
I don't like to hear myself or see
myself. You're not in them. It's videos with just me.
Yeah, I don't like to see you or hear you either. So, how does that make you feel?
In the last episode, we introduced you to the podcast, gave you a little background on our friendship and how we met, and then we talked about breaking a Corvette. That led to us thinking about more things we broke in that podcast, but we didn't elaborate. So today, we're going to elaborate on all my dad's stuff that we broke together in high school, mostly.
Some stories I remember, he don't, which is very rare.
He remembers one story. I really don't remember. So let's start with that one. Up first, I'll give you the description on the car.
Yeah, you give the description on the car.
There she is. I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, let's see.
Ignore the oil leak.
Nah, I knew. See? I told you.
Milano Maroon, 1965 Corvette, big block, 396, 425 horse, maroon interior, power window car.
4-speed.
If you watched our last podcast, you know that people call me. I don't know who that is. It's a weird number.
I'm going to make you lock your phone up in the other room from now on.
Anyway.
You know how many calls? I ain't
That's because nobody likes you. 4-speed.
That's rude.
Factory 410 gear in the back. It was factory side pipe car. It was awesome.
It was.
I don't remember the story. I remember breaking it, but I don't remember that. I do remember almost wrecking it one night. Right there at the high school. So to back up, when we were in high school, a kid that graduated 2 years older than us wrecked a brand new Corvette. You don't remember that?
I'm digging. You tell the story and I'm digging.
So he was supposed to be pulling it around to wash it and ended up taking it for a joyride, a C5. This would have been 02 or 03.
Whose vet was it?
It was Chevrolet dealership. It was brand new. It was just come off the truck.
Oh, yeah, I do vaguely remember.
And he comes around by what would have been by the ag building and the practice field, gets on it and puts it in the fence, totals the car.
Yep, I do remember that.
Got fired, needless to say.
Obviously.
But right there one night in this car, I almost wrecked. I had that thing every which way but straight.
In that, there at the same spot?
Yeah. Except mine would have been probably a little more expensive wreck than his at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
But, even now, obviously. But once you get a vet sideways, it's hard to straighten them out.
I wouldn't know.
I had manual steering too. So it was a handful. But anyway, the night we broke it.
I don't remember what we were doing. Probably just joyriding, we used to do.
Joyriding, I'm sure.
So I wish I was better at giving descriptive locations, but it's not like many people are going to know where we're talking about.
Frogtown is?
I know where it was Frogtown. At that time, what was it?
Frogtown?
No, I'm talking about it happened right by where Frogtown Market Restaurant was at. It literally happened right below it on the road. So what?
There was nothing there.
Yeah, there was. I think it was a fireplace shop.
Years ago it was a fireplace shop.
Yeah, I think it was a fireplace shop at the time.
But none of Drake stuff or any of that was
there. No, that was it. But the building where Frogtown Market was there.
Yeah.
So we were going through town, and you used to love to go right past that building, and you'd always go up Town Hill and then go through the high school.
Yeah.
And we come through there, and I don't remember why you decided to downshift and give her a little fuel. I don't know. Normally that's something you do if you see somebody coming that you want to let them know you.
It's the middle of nowhere though.
Exactly. So I don't understand what the reasoning behind it, but you did though. You downshifted and you decided to give it a little fuel. The next thing I know, the loudest pop I'd ever heard in my life. And I was sitting in the passenger seat and I felt like something shot through the floorboard and directly into my sphincter. It was terrible. It hurt my lower back.
Did you enjoy it?
No, I did not enjoy it. It hurt my lower back, and you stopped immediately, pushed the clutch in.
On the road. I don't see it.
What if I show up on camera?
I doubt it.
Anyways, so you immediately pushed the clutch in, you stopped because you thought you ran something over. And then you went to take her out of whatever gear it was in, third probably, and she wouldn't come out.
Luckily, it was a 14 gear and a big block. I remember bringing it home and it being broke. I don't remember the braking process.
I don't remember.
I thought I tore the transmission out of it.
That's what you thought, 100%, because it wouldn't come out of third gear.
We must have slung the clutch rod off of it or one of the shit. I don't know. I remember bringing it home.
Yeah, but if you'd have slung the clutch rod off of it, you wouldn't be able to push the clutch in.
You're right.
I don't know what happened.
I remember bringing it home. My dad was mad. We were going somewhere doing something, so we went back out. Probably got the Cobra and went back out. And he's like, just leave it. I'll fix the blooming thing.
Well, I remember taking it off. It was lugging out because we had to take off in third. And then we went all the way down how did we go home? I'm pretty sure you went through out Lake Emery.
Probably.
But anyway, so that was that. And we got it home, and then we got in the
Did he fix it? It was simple. I
don't know. I know he fixed it. I know it got fixed, but I don't know how it got fixed. Next time I showed up, it was running again.
That was a awesome car.
Yeah, I liked that car.
It was a super nice car.
I liked the color.
Milan.
I used to hate that color. Like I couldn't.
It was gorgeous because it had matching leather interior.
I couldn't stand the color of your Cobra at the time.
I still don't like it.
Well, no, you liked it at the time.
I didn't like it at the time. It's half the reason I sold it.
No, I like that color. I do now. I didn't then.
Next car up on the broke list. He doesn't remember this story, but I do. Remember her?
Yeah.
60.
I don't remember you breaking it.
4 or 5. I don't think we ever actually said we broke it. I think we just put it up and thought if we didn't talk about it, nobody would ever know.
I vaguely remember it like bits and pieces, but...
It was a 64 5 Falcon convertible, automatic, 289. It had, remember, you probably don't remember, but it had one of those little tacks on it. Like the little 3-inch or 2-inch like tack. And it had glass packs, you don't remember. It had glass packs on it. And we were out just raising hell in it. In like this cruiser, treating it like it was a hot rod.
Was it just us?
There might have been women there. I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
But it would do a hell of a burnout. I think it was probably one wheel peel. And I remember just somewhere taking a turn and basically floated the valves in it. And then we come back home and we just had got it. I didn't think we were supposed to be driving it really. I don't know. And come back home, went to put it in the shop, and it was ticking like hell.
I'm digging. Like, I'm hoping that there's some part of this story where like certain things.
I remember. Maybe you never. Maybe I looked at you and thought, "Well, we broke this," and you're like, "Oh." This is before he was an educated Nashville Auto Diesel mechanic.
Back when I raced
bearings. Back when you raced bearings, yeah. So, I don't know, maybe you never knew about it, but we put it up and I never drove it again. And he ended up selling it, and he never said anything about it.
Someone else figured it out.
Someone else figured it out, and they had to put a couple lifters and push rod in it. That was a fun little car, though. I'm surprised you don't remember it more as much as you like Falcons.
I remember the car.
Oh, wait, it was a convertible.
I do not like convertibles. But I remember the car, I just don't remember breaking it. I don't remember the issue. But then again, I have terrible memory for one.
That's true.
And, and it was a convertible, so...
Yeah, probably wiped it out of your memory.
Probably, yeah, I deleted that.
So the next one, I don't have a picture of on here to show you, but you remember it because we still have it, is the 66 Pontiac 2+2. If you follow our YouTube channel, probably about the time this podcast drops, there's a video out talking about it, getting back on the road finally. Car, to give you a brief background, my uncle bought it new in 66. He passed away in the 70s. My dad got it. Now it's mine, blah, blah, blah. It's a 66 2+2, 421 4-speed car. Built back in the day. Car's super fast for what it was. For what it is, it really is fast. This thing is huge.
That thing is longer than a limousine.
Did we blow it up before or after we raced Swafford in his GT? Or was that the same night?
I don't think it was the same night, but I don't remember if it was before or after.
We raced, and the kid had a brand new, it was like an 02 GT.
Yeah, 02.
5-speed. And that car ran good.
Yeah.
Had like Flowmasters on it. And we run him going across Town Bridge in it. And he was like, what is
in that
What
thing?
is in that thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made it probably 13 seconds, mid-13s.
Yeah, it's probably a low 14, mid to low 14.
So anyway, it's got, I don't know what mufflers on it, glass packs, I guess.
Glass packs is what it's got.
So when you rev it up and you let off, it's like, blah, and it sounds so good.
Yep.
So there's this wall in town that...
It's a little concrete wall.
Yeah.
It's like a little concrete barrier on the side of the road.
Everything you go by would echo. And it would sound good when you went by. I'm pretty sure it was your idea to go by there.
Oh, it was 100%. That's where we always went.
Like, go by there and let it rack off. I'm like, all right. So we go by there. Keep in mind, this thing always ran hot. Temperature gauge kind of works sometimes. Wasn't really running hot, though.
No, we
slung the fan belt off. That's what happened.
Yeah, but we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yet.
So, but the hell happened so quick? It must have been close to running hot.
No, because here's what happened. At least what I think happened. It was close to running hot. I think the fan belt was slipping.
Yeah.
And it was
Still
not
got
off.
to put it back on, don't worry.
So it was hot. And then when you downshifted to get the higher RPM to let it rack off, it completely slung it. But by that time, we were so focused on listening, we weren't paying attention to nothing else. And then next thing I know, there's smoke.
Because we hadn't gone another 200 yards when it dumped the radiator out of it.
Yeah, because we were so focused on everything else.
Why did we drive to your grandma's?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm not sure. Did we realize what it... I don't know why.
We had to have realized because it started smoking within a couple hundred yards past the concrete barriers. I don't know what we did. I don't know. I think what happened was, if I remember correctly, it started smoking. We didn't know why it was smoking. But you looked at the gauges and it wasn't even showing hot yet. So we, I guess, kept going. And we were going that way.
I think it blew the radiator out before it ever actually ran hot.
Oh, yeah. It had. That's probably where the big puff of smoke came from.
It was water. Remember when we went back through, the road was still wet.
The road was wet. There was a big, you could see where it blew the bottom of the radiator out.
But then we ended up driving it like another 2 miles.
Yeah, way too far.
To your grandma's house.
Way too far.
I don't know. Well, we didn't even get to her house. We were in the end of her driveway.
We was down at but not even close.
And we're like, what's wrong? And so we popped the hood and the belt off.
Yep.
We're like, we're going to fix it.
We'll just put the belt back on.
We're going to get it back on. So I remember maybe Tyler was bringing his tools back and forth.
From up in
from Troy's.
Yeah.
So we finally get this belt back on. Like an hour and a half later, it's dark at this point. And we're like, we did it. We're not going to have to tell them we broke something else. We're going to get this home. It's going to be fine.
And we did get the belt back on.
Oh, yeah, belt back on. We go to get water.
We thought we were...
Yeah.
We felt like king, technician, I'm lead Ford mechanic, or I'm ready to go, right?
We go put water in it. And I remember, I think it splashed on your feet while I was pouring it in.
I was standing there and I was looking, and I noticed that my feet were getting
You're like, damn it, you're spilling it. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'm like, dude, can you not hit the hole? And then I back up, and literally my shoes are soaked. And it was coming directly out of the bottom of the radiator.
Blew the bottom of the radiator out, or something.
And we don't know.
So I don't know. Then we had to call him, and then I don't know. When he drove it home, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we didn't just try to drive it home. I mean, I guess we're afraid at that point we're gonna blow it up
because we already broke it to that point.
Yeah. So my dad comes out there. How he even found us, I don't know. He comes out there, gets in it, follow me home. So we go through town, and we get to the first red light he comes to.
What did he pick it up? What did he come out in?
Probably at that point would have been the...
Because we followed him, right, at that point?
It would have been the Ranger, but it would have been that white.
The white one?
The white one. The white 5-speed, yeah. So he goes through the red light of town, and it changes red. Well, he's not wanting to stop because he knows it's going to overheat. How he wasn't overheating to start with, I don't know. Must have got enough water in at that point, maybe, to...
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Either that or the gauge wasn't working.
Well, the gauge don't work still. That's one of the issues we got to work with.
There you go.
But he goes to go through the red light, it's red. So I don't know why he didn't just run it at this point. That he cuts to the right, makes a right-hand turn, which was green. There was no car sitting at the other side. So why not just run through it?
This is where he warped.
So he goes through the red light right, and I'm like, what is he doing? And then warps it back around, goes through the green light. There was no decide, he was doing it on purpose all the time. Goes through the green light and keeps going. And like this figure S movement.
But the way it looked like he was going to go right, and then he changed his mind.
But like there was no cars there, so that like, why just run the red light? I don't know. He kept going. I'm like,
and he made it home.
I'm like, yeah, he's pissed. So
he made it home.
So he got it home, and then Bud Choate fixed the radiator in it. And it's still in it, yeah.
That's still the one that's in it.
That's the day. That was I think it was Shane that was there when he was putting it back in. He got it all back in there, and he decided he was going to touch up some of the paint. I guess maybe we scratched it whatever. Well, he had washed the engine off, and there was water everywhere still. There was like water in the trough of the water pump, and he's sitting there spray painting it, and he's spray painting the water. And Shane's like, should he much.
Leave it be.
Just don't.
It's fine.
Shane, it's not good. It's not a good time.
Once the water dried up, there was
fine.
A spot there with a little no paint there.
It's good though. Still same radiator, same fan bill.
I probably well, you said you're gonna change the radiator.
Yeah, I put an aluminum in it.
Yeah, it needs it. Before we have another story, we have to tell.
Yeah, I don't want to blow that thing up.
Yeah, we don't need no more of them stories to have to talk about.
Can we break anything else? We already talked about the Corvette. If you missed that, that was when we go watch the first episode. But we ran a 69 430 or 427 400 horse car. Braked so hot it blew the tire, and then once we got it fixed, it rolled into a guardrail.
You broke the SRT10.
Yeah.
With what was in the SRT10 when you broke it, and I never got it back.
Two things broke. Did you get this TikTok I sent you earlier?
I don't guess.
There was a TikTok. I don't remember what it was, but Project Pat and the Chicken Song was playing.
Yeah.
So we had a brand new SRT10 that I'll put it up on the screen with the Lightning because that's the photo that's in. That's the one I got. My dad traded his 01 Lightning for it. Got the truck.
I forgot he traded that for it.
Yeah, and then went back the next day and bought the Lightning back.
Yeah, good.
Because he didn't like the SRT10.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was badass.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, the CD changer, 8-year Project Pat.
Yeah.
And back then, like this was back then, this is like 03. CDs were hard to come by.
Yeah.
And CDs with swears were even harder to come by.
Yeah. And the worst part was, I was working, where was I working at
KFC, probably. You probably spent your own paycheck on that CD.
They were about $15, $16, $17, and that was in 2000.
I think I remember telling you, they're going to send it back to me knowing they never were.
Yeah, you sent it back.
That's the only way you ever get, leave me alone about it.
What else was it? There was 2 CDs in there. Project Pat.
There was an SPM in there, I'm sure, yeah. Anyway, I'll buy you one for Christmas next year. But the CD player changer took a shit. But that's not the story. I still remember where I was at. I was going out Bell Daddle down that long straightaway. And I went to hit third gear, probably getting close in the 90s on that straightaway that everybody had already wrecked on that right around there. So they had a good place. And at Viper Spec T56, I don't know what I did, but when I slammed third, I just destroyed it.
What? Did y'all have to put a new one in it?
Yeah, so I brought it back to the house. I don't know why. In hindsight, I should have just been like, fucking new truck broke.
How come? Oh, what'd you do? Hide it and let him?
Yeah, he found it.
I don't feel like I remember that.
Yeah, I brought it home because I'm like, but at the time I should have just been like, because he's already hated it anyway. But I was afraid, I guess he'd sell it. I don't know why I didn't tell him.
Was it not under warranty?
It was brand new. It had like 900 miles on it.
So the warranty fixed the transmission.
Yeah. So
is that like a common thing in those? Or
no, that's the most badass transmission you can put in anything.
So it was just a fluke. It was
just a fluke. I don't know. I don't know.
How did you get home?
It didn't have third gear.
So you just blew third gear at it.
I blew third gear, and the shrapnel, I guess, messed it didn't. It would shift, but it had like first, second, and maybe like fifth or fourth. I don't know.
Enough to get home.
I got it home. I knew it was food bar,
it.
so I put her back in the basement.
And how long was it before? Because he didn't like it anyway.
Conveniently, the battery died shortly thereafter.
Shortly, let's be honest, that's probably 3 months.
Yeah, and I'm like, he didn't even ask. He drove the SRT10 lately. I think I put, because it's set right down here, and it's set kind of to the front. So I think I put like something behind it, and like boxed it in. I'm like, I can't get the blooming thing out. So then one day he's like, I'm gonna get my Ram out and drive it. I'm like, oh, God. I was going somewhere, and he called. He's like, what's wrong with this blooming transmission? What? It won't go into third gear. I don't know. It was fine last time I drove it. What'd you do to it? I don't know. This thing, I finally got it home. That piece of shit. Well, I got that Dodge. And obviously, he probably knew like I had tore it up, I guess. I don't know.
And what was it? Y'all sold that. I remember you sold that.
No, we traded it. But let's get to that story. So he ended up, they put a new transmission in it. We didn't. I drove it a little bit after that. I love that truck. Maybe not so much in hindsight.
I would love.
I would.
They sell for now what y'all got when you traded it in. Then
we paid $55,000 for it.
Yeah, what'd you get on trading? 30 something.
We traded it for a '95 Viper RT10. Which I would love to have back. That was a badass car.
I remember that with the red one.
Yeah, we got about 35 out of the Viper.
They still sell for that. I mean, if you go on right now,
I'd like to have one.
Yeah,
but it sucks because it's like I want, like you said, I want a 4-door.
Yeah, and that's.
But you got to have the 6-speed.
If you have the automatic transmission, it's no fun.
That'd be fun to push start. God, I'd like to have another one.
What do you think the reason behind not putting a 5 or 6-speed in a 4-door? Truck like that's
they warranted too many of the other ones. I don't know.
You just think that, but it's not just them.
Put buckets in the front and put a console in.
Exactly.
There must be something to do with
because it seems like it happens all the time.
Maybe they couldn't put a long enough drive shaft for the power.
Maybe the torque, the way the trans.
Yeah, I mean, there's some legit reason. I don't know why. I'd love to have another single cab truck. That was a fun truck. That might be what if I don't buy a Vet, maybe I'll buy one of them.
I'd much rather you buy one of them. I'd actually drive it. If you bought a Vet, I'd probably drive it once.
The only thing is they got such bad gas mileage. I don't care now. I remember I took it to dinner in Asheville last time I drove it. We pulled right out of that, right there in the road. I put it, time I got to the other side of K Mountain, I put it in 6th gear, set the cruise at 60. When I pulled into Olive Garden in Asheville, I was getting 8.8 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, they definitely weren't.
There was no good mileage.
No, but
I mean, I guess in retrospective, who cares?
When you own something like that,
who cares?
If you're daily driving that, then nobody daily drives those. You couldn't afford to daily drive that thing.
That was a good truck. I miss it.
I don't even remember. I think I might have drove it once before you broke it.
It didn't have but like 2,000 miles on it.
I think I drove it one time.
It sounded so good, and they sound so good with exhaust. The only thing that sucked about it too, though, and now it doesn't matter, but then because the Lightning we towed with it all the time, and you couldn't tow with it. They had no hitch.
Oh really? Oh, did they have a roll pan?
They had kind of a roll pan-ish, but they just.
I mean, I'm sure we could bank something down there at the Flunky shop.
We'll just we could weld something right up.
Yeah, we'll bolt it right on there.
I'm sure. Did we break anything else? I don't want to give away all our stories on episode 2.
I don't think so.
That's all we broke together. I know that Z28. I stacked the gears up in it one time. I stacked the gears up in the Pontiac like 2 or 3 times. I'll probably stack the gears up in it again the first time I drive it. It's so hard to get into gear. I know one day I drove it home from Fat Buddies in 3rd gear because that's why I had it hung in.
I don't think we ever broke anything else
together. Anyway.
I mean, in hindsight, to listen to the amount of stories of stuff we broke compared to how long we drove stuff, it's probably not that bad.
How much we drove?
It's not as bad as we probably drove more stuff back then than we do now.
Oh, I'm sure I drove something different every night.
I didn't drive any. I mean, I drove your stuff. I didn't own anything back then. What I had the 66? No, I had the Dodge by that point.
You had the Dodge by then, yeah.
Did I? No, I did not. Because I got the Dodge 2 weeks before we graduated high school. And I went to college.
Yeah.
So
that would have been all that would have been in college. I mean, high school.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ram. Were we still in high school when we got the Ram?
Yeah.
Are we?
Pretty sure. Maybe not.
Remember when Colby got pulled over in it?
In the
Ram?
No.
He jumped in it one night at the gym. We were all hanging out and went hauling ass up the street. Got pulled over coming back.
How'd that work out for him?
He didn't get a ticket.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I do.
That was back before I did any gymming.
We weren't at the gym. We were meeting at the gym because we were going to hang out. That's when Rob owned it. We were just parking our stuff there.
I miss when we used to get to cruise town.
Yeah, we can go cruise.
I mean, yeah, you can go cruise now, but what?
I always swore I'd never be that 40-year-old sitting at the church.
Oh,
right now, if there's people like cruising, I'd be that 40-year-old tonight.
Right there.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's none of that. Man, yeah, that was some of the best memories I have is cruising town.
Me and Aiden are going to go cruise here in a couple of years.
We're going to make circles. Nobody can hang out.
Six-pack of beer and then drive me around.
Oh, I meant to tell you, the other night I went to, after basketball practice, took Aiden by McDonald's to get something to eat. Yeah. We're sitting there in the drive-thru, and they all hang out at Big Lots now, or over there.
Donut, that's stupid.
They all started doing donuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They literally, there's this old Chevrolet truck out there doing donuts, and the grown-up side of me was wanting to say, oh, you stupid kids, but the other side of me was like, I wouldn't mind to go over there and do a few of those myself.
I never really done much donuts.
I did in the snow a lot.
Yeah,
I remember doing donuts in the high school parking lot. I remember when
I remember drifting the cyclone in the parking lot down there in the snow.
Is that really called a drift at that point?
Yeah. Well, if that's all we broke, I guess we'll leave them with that for today.
Pretty sure that's all we broke.
What are we going to talk about next time? Like we got all these stories and I'm like,
maybe we'll make this like a really rare 4-episode session and we never have nothing to talk about again.
Nah, we got all kinds of stuff. I got photos to scan of old stuff. We got photos for days to talk about stories. Hopefully people like it and watch. You liking this? If you made this for you, do.
Hopefully they can hear us, because there's been a few times when you've like got real quiet. You went.
Now you fucking tell me. You could be like.
You went straight up Willard on me there for a minute. So hopefully.
You want to tell them? Should you tell them that about how quiet and why I talk that way? My dad and listening.
Oh,
we got a minute. We're only at the 27-minute mark.
Oh, that's it. No joke. It was probably. When did I first start hanging around, like, your house and your parents?
Probably when you took that beer to Roger and got caught.
We'll get into that another time.
03? I mean, pretty soon after we...
Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah.
But it was probably the first 2 or 3 years that I hung out with you, I never could understand anything your dad said. Ever. Your dad talked so low, and I don't think he said full words. It was just very... I mean, we jokingly...
That's the truth.
But it's exactly how he... When he would talk, he'd come in. I'd hear Jeffrey, because he'd be like, River. And I'd hear that. So I knew that he was about to say something, and I'd hear... And I'm like, what the... So we'd get going outside, and I'd be like, what in the hell did your dad just say? He's like, oh, he wants me to pick up a loaf of bread while we're out in town. I'm like, how the hell did you get that out of everything he said? But it's funny, because if you fast forward to like 3 or 4 years later, I remember the first time we were sitting, we walked in the living room, and he's like, different. And he goes, and we walked outside, and I was like, did he just say this? And you're like, yep. I'm like, I'm finally starting to figure it out.
But I would get around him, and I would talk.
Oh, yeah.
Lower.
You completely would change. Even when you'd answer the phone.
Yeah.
We'd be carrying a conversation like this, and you'd pick up the phone, and all of a sudden Jeff goes into that. And I'm like, what the hell's going on now?
Yeah, I get quiet like that sometimes when I'm talking.
You've done it. You'll see it when you go back. There was twice in here when you got pretty quiet. I'm like, what? Hopefully that mic's good.
Yeah, hopefully one of the 3, 4 go on pick it up.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Do whatever it is you do on podcasts. Maybe share it. I don't know. How do you watch podcasts? Do you subscribe to it?
Yeah, most people have a dedicated channel to it. So, But we ain't got enough subscribers to go trying to do that.
Not at all.
We'll just make a section in our.
It's called a playlist.
There you go. There you go. We'll make one of those.
See y'all next time.
All right, Will Shans.